Hello and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the 7th grade concept of operational word problems. This is standard 7.3b in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 24 of the 2021 released STAAR test. If you have not done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and then we will look at our answers together. So we've got a student running 3.5 miles for 5 days, and then 4.5 miles for the next 5 days, and so total of 10 days. What's the total distance? So there's several ways that we could solve this problem. Let me show you one that you might not think of, and that is to draw a picture. So I'm going to draw my 5 sets of 3. So here's my 5 sets of 3 for my 3.5. I'm going to draw these like this because I'm going to kind of break this apart into my 3 and my 3.5. And I just want to keep track of what I've got right here. So I've got 5 sets of 3, so I'm looking at 15 right here. Now what I need are 5 halves, but what I want to do is I want to fill in empty halves, right? So I'm going to do 1 half, 2 half, 3 halves, 4 halves, and then there's my 5 halves. And so rather than listing them separately, I want to use them to make whole, so it looks like I've got 2.5 extra right there. Now, I'm going to do the same thing with my 4, right? So I'm going to do my 5 sets of 4, and let's just pretend these are all filled in. That's pretty easy because we are going to get our 20, but I need my 5 sets of 1/4. Watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to start with this half right that I've got right there, and I'm just going to do 1, 2, and then I need 3 more. 3, 4, 5. So by using a picture and by taking these halves and these fourths and filling in empty ones, it's a lot easier. Look, I've got 15 plus 20, plus I've got 1, 2, 3, and 3/4 is what that looks like. So 15 and 20 equals 35, plus 3 and 3/4. So that's going to get me my 38 and 3/4. That's looking like G. Now, if I didn't want to draw pictures, here's another way we could do it, is we could just turn these into decimals. So these are benchmark fractions that we should know. So 3.5 is the same. We should know that a half is 0.5, 5/10, right? And we know that 4.25 we should know equals 4.25. 1/4 is 25 cents. Think of it like that, 4.25. And then we can just multiply each of these by 5 and then add up those sums, right? So we know how to multiply when we are multiplying with decimals. Only problem with that is we're going to have to take it back into a fraction when we're done. So that's 15, that's 17.5. Let me see, my 425 times 5, it's going to be 5, 10, 12, 21, 2 digits behind the decimal, so 21.25. Need to add this up, and there's my 38.75, and you see that 0.75, that's going to turn into 3/4. The other way we could do this is just do a whole bunch of addition, right? We could just do 3.5, 3.5, 3.5, 3.5, 3.5, which is going to make 15 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 halves, right? 15 and 5 halves. We could do the same thing with 4.25. And that's going to get us something that's also a little bit unwieldy. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5/4 is going to be 20 and 5/4. So we could add 15 and 5 halves and 20 and 5/4, but first off we have to change the denominator into fourths, and then they're improper fractions. That's going to be a little bit wild. So I would suggest one of the other two options. Either way, your answer is G.